Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
What's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
I am Ed Foster, and this is Viewers Anonymous, man. How we feeling, yo?
Man, we are we on the road, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, especially about this episode. You know what I'm saying? I've been feeling good about those past episodes, man. We've been getting some great numbers, man. Hopefully we start getting that feedback soon. But for right now, man, I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about, you know what I'm saying, the greatness of this episode we got right now. So I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm good, man. I you know what I'm saying, I went out and did my part today, put a voice to it, you know what I'm saying, put my vote in, it's election day and all, but I just wanted to share the fact of, because it did like, dude, I was worried, but I wasn't worried because this morning I saw a dude I work with. He lived not too far from where I stay, so we voted at the same place. And he showed a video, long ass line. So I was like, well, I didn't plan on going in the morning anyway. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go when I get off. I was like, but we got pie today. But I was like, man, I got a feeling that I'm gonna be good. I went in there, no line. Dude, it didn't take me 10 minutes. It didn't take me 10 minutes.
I was in and out. Bro, so I voted early. And I went this past Saturday. And my wife, she told me, she said, we're going to go when she gets off work, because she worked third shift. So she was like, we just going to go when I get off work. I'm like, all right, cool. That shouldn't be an issue. Man, we got to that goddamn place. That motherfucking line was long in the motherfucker. It took us probably about 10 minutes to find a parking spot. Then, once we found the parking spot, my wife forgot her mask. So she had to walk back to the car. And then I walk in. Right, I'm trying to walk in and solidify a spot. So the dude stopped me and says, "No, you can't come in this way. You have to go to the back of the line in the parking lot. We just left the parking lot." So I had to leave out the building, walk all the way down the courthouse stairs, and then meet my wife midway from her going to get her mask. So, which was a good thing. I'm glad she left her mask, because then we would have had to do all that extra shit for no reason. So we go all the way to the parking lot. We walk up there or whatever. We get in line. The line really didn't take as long as it did, or as long as I thought it would. We probably waited in line for probably about 15 minutes. And then, once we got to the lobby in front of the room where everybody was voting, we instantly got a chance to get in, because they had 3 or 4 rooms available for people to go vote. So, it was probably 4 or 5 machines in each room. And then the people came and got you, told you, come. They had everything, it was easy. Gave them the ID, they registered you, they gave you a slip, and then they had what's those things called?
Like a little not toothpick, but like a long ass fucking Q-tip.
What's the shit called? Well, yeah, it was something like a Q-tip, but
they gave me like a Q-tip thing.
Yeah, so ours was like pens. So we had the pens where you could touch screen pens.
Yeah, that's what we had, but it was like a Q-tip.
Okay, so ours we had the ones that's like that, but there was actual pens too. So you can write with it and you can touch the screen and stuff. So they gave us those, we went in, we voted real quick. Then boom, they had this little thing where you had to put your slip through after you vote, and then we got in and out. It wasn't no issues. So far, so good, man. And I know it was a lot of people there. So I know in Ohio, they've been doing a lot of early voting. I know our numbers boosted up to 40% since the last election. So, I mean, everything was looking good. I talked to a few people that came in on second shift on my job, and they were saying, they was getting in and out with no issues. So, it's looking good so far, man. Everybody getting their shit in.
That's good, man. Appreciate you doing your part.
Man, I got to, man. I got to.
Oh yeah, man. But I mean, it's something we're gonna do towards the end. But man, I've been holding this in because we did our little pre-production or whatever. But man, I've been wanting to tell you, man. Look, you are, in a good way, you are an asshole for putting me in the position of what we got to do for the fire flames that we got. Dude, I was struggling. I was in my room last night.
Yeah, man.
Like, yo, trying to put together what we gonna do for the fire flames, yo. I was like, man, Scoop this damn asshole.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a little bit difficult for me, but when I went back, like, cause I didn't watch. I tried my best not to watch any of his movies, cause I knew that was gonna put some bias real quick on my 5. So I was like, all right, I'm trying not to watch any Denzel movies, right? Soon as I flick the channels on the TV, Fences is on one channel. So I skip it. I'm like, I can't watch that. I don't want to watch it because I knew it, right? Mm-hmm. Then after I flick from Fences, The Equalizer 2 is on another channel. Okay, skip that one. I can't watch it. Then I skip that, and fucking Glory is on another channel. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I just start watching Netflix. I'm like, I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not doing it.
You know what it is? Hey, that's the government listening in on us, dude. I'm telling you. That's just like when you be fucking... Listen, yo, check this out. No. So I'm talking to my girl. So she calls me while she's at lunch, right? And she was in the Church's Chicken, right? I don't know if y'all got that up there. But like...
Oh, yeah, we got the box of grease.
Okay, so she's at Church's, right? And she's talking about how long the line is. So we just talking about Church's because I was like, I was saying that how that's the best name for a fucking chicken place. She was like, why? I said, because every black people that go to church eat Church's chicken. So
that's
I was like, it's just a great name. And so, dude, I get on fucking Facebook after I get off the phone with her. What ad you think I see? Church's Chicken.
God damn.
So it's like, yo, they listening in, but they like, oh man, they fucking with your TV. This is a whole nother level.
Well, see, I don't think they was messing with the TV because it was. I was looking at. I got Sling TV for my cable because I use my Xbox for all my entertainment. So I don't think they was listening in. I just think it was just the fact that day, bro, like they just had hella. And if anybody don't know, we're talking about the great Denzel Washington on this episode. So I think they just had hella Denzel movies on. And I'm like, he got so fucking many, like, what the fuck? Every goddamn channel is down there fucking Denzel. So I was just like, no, I just switched over to Netflix. I said, fuck it, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like you said, man, like this is something that we plan on doing. We want to, single out either actor or actress. It's not no sex biases here. Right. But like, we just want to take a person and basically appreciate them, giving them their flowers, while they're alive. I mean, we can do a dead person too. I mean, that's not really, an issue as well. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like a lot of great people don't really get like the recognition like they should. And like we was talking about when we was talking about doing this idea, and we figured that we would do Denzel Washington first, because what we did on the preview of the last episode was we were saying that this person only won as far as I don't understand why they make some stuff so prestigious, but like, that Oscars is the prestigious thing. And we was like, he only has 2, but I was like, one as the best actor and one as supporting best actor. But the thing is, like, even people like Leonardo DiCaprio only got like 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Leo got one. He just got 1.
That's what I'm saying. And like even Meryl Streep, like she holds the record for the most nominations. But I think, damn, did she even win one? Because I know
she got one.
Okay, but I know like she holds the record for the.
I think Meryl Streep is I think she's in the EGOT club.
Okay. But but even what we were saying was like, I don't think that this puts you on this elite level. Like now what it does do, because they made it just like with Grammys, like Grammys, they give you this tag, Grammy nominated. They're just like, I was listening to some podcast and they were saying that what it does for you is you go into that room as far as the negotiation and you could be like, yo, I'm Oscar nominated. You know what I'm saying? And just that Oscar nominated will help you out as far as, negotiations and shit like that. But for him to only win the 2, and My thing with the one that he won. Okay, let's get into it. The one that he won, as far as best actor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Training Day.
Yeah.
Now, Training Day. Don't get me wrong. Training Day is a great movie. It was, and the thing is, like, even though that was the first time he played like a crooked cop, it's not that he never played a bad person before, but it, like, as good as the movie was, it was still disappointing for that to be his first one. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like, he got so many great movies out, but he wins for playing the bad guy. And then I did not know this. And tell me if you know this. So, fun fact, I don't know if a lot of people know this. So, he played in a movie with Julia Roberts, right? The Pelican Brief, right?
Okay.
Back in like the 90s. And there was supposed to be a scene in that movie where they kissed, right? So he fought the people. He was like, I don't think it'd be good for my community for me to kiss a white woman on TV, right?
Okay.
So what they did with the Pelican Brief was they started going in for the kiss and then they like blacks out and then go to the next scene. So you could tell they was going to kiss, but they didn't actually kiss on TV. So when he won that award, Julia Roberts presented the award for him. When he went on stage, he gave her the big kiss. And he explained it.
Hey, he's a G, man.
Hey, genius. Now, I don't know what his wife thought about it. I'm pretty sure he probably had the conversation. I don't know.
He
had
to.
I'm pretty sure they probably tell you who are giving. They probably know. We probably don't know. But they probably know the people that are giving out certain awards. I would imagine they would. And maybe he found out about it and was like, look, babe, like, you know, I did the Pelican Brief for her. I refused to kiss her on screen.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, to make this full circle, that kiss that they wanted me to give her at the time in that movie, I give it to her now if I win, type of thing. And, like, I just thought that was, like, a very cool thing. Like, you know, for him to, because, I mean, the Pelican Brief came out in fucking, like, I mean, it came out in the early 90s. And for him to take this thing, because he wasn't who he was at that time. You know what I'm saying? I think that now at the time, I think he won for Glory already. Because he won for Glory in 1990. But
yeah, he was that's the supporting actor, right?
Yeah, that's the supporting actor, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I mean, you know, fun fact, man, I just thought that was a real cool thing to do. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure, now look, we don't know how Julia Roberts felt at the time. You know, maybe she didn't get it. Maybe she was just like, what's the big deal? Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to kiss me on, I mean, it's a movie. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that serious. That shit came out in 93. The Pelican Brief came out in 93. So this was after Malcolm X. So yeah,
I think that had a lot to do with it, right? So you got to remember, like, in the 90s, the 90s was like, to me at least, the 90s was like, in film, was like the last Black Renaissance. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna say that. It was like the latest Black Renaissance, right? So, like, you got to remember, like, this is when we were putting out conscious products. Even in the music, we was putting out a lot of conscious music. You got to think, like, Leaders of the New School, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Public Enemy.
Living Color was out, Arsenio Hall, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was a time where, even though we weren't getting our just due in a lot of places, like, we still were making, like, these prominent pieces of art in all these different, you know what I'm saying, lanes. So, like, in the movies, you know what I'm saying, like, Spike Lee was really putting out all these great movies at the time. And then, you know what I'm saying, like Rusty Cundiff was one of the guys that was putting out great movies at the time. He even put out like Tales from the Hood in the 90s. So it's like from 90 from 90 to 98, I say, is like, to me, was a black renaissance in entertainment. And so especially between 90 and like 96, you had like a lot of conscious stuff going on for black people. So for Denzel to make that statement, to me, like, I kind of understand where it's coming from, because it's like, I'm sure that, you know what I'm saying, especially knowing who he is, like, he's a very intelligent guy. So for him to be able to, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge that and be like, yo, this is not the thing for me to do right now. And then coming off of Malcolm X, you definitely don't want to do that, because, you know what I'm saying, like, now you're really being looked at as that guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, because if you think about it, it wasn't really a movie like that, you know what I'm saying, that was out around that time. I think Malcolm X was a very, very, man, I think that was a very strong biographic movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really remember any other movie about a historical figure from that time that had the effect that Malcolm X did. Because remember, when Spike Lee put out Malcolm X, like, you start seeing people on TV shows with the X on the hat. You start seeing them with the X on the sweaters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start seeing Black Power. I mean, well, it was already going on, but you just really started, you know what I'm saying, seeing that transition into other, you know what I'm saying, areas, like, you know what I'm saying, NWA, you know what I'm saying, like, all these groups that had these, you know what I'm saying, like, had these things or had these ways of, you know what I'm saying, expressing themselves. Like, this is something that they were expressing themselves about. Like, they were really, you know what I'm saying, getting into it. So I think this was like a very, very strong stream of conscious for us. And I think that with him doing that, like, it was right, you know what I'm saying, like, in pocket.
Yeah, especially for that time. But, like, I love how he made it full circle, because it made it more like a, you know what I'm saying, like it completed something, because like I said, we don't know Julia Roberts. We don't know if she really had an issue about it. But, like,
I'm sure
you know, look, I mean, it's hard to tell, but that was a cool gesture. But to get back to, like, Training Day was like a fucking, I mean, him, Ethan Hawke, like, the way they was able to do that movie, man, it was great. He was, and then you have
is that John Singleton?
Was that John? I can't remember if John was the one who did it, because I don't know why I want to say Peter Berg did it.
Let me see.
Who the fuck did Training Day? But
oh, Antoine Fuqua. Okay, same lane.
But like, him playing Lonzo, man, it was great. It was great, man. But it just sucks, because it's like, why couldn't he win for like he lost Malcolm X, yo?
Okay, all right. So let me play devil's advocate, right? When this happened, I was in that group too. But at the time, I'm trying to think, when did Training Day come out? Training Day came out in 2001. 2001. I wasn't even in high school yet.
See, I was.
So when I seen Training Day, I was in like 7th, 8th grade. I wasn't even probably supposed to be watching this shit, but I watched it anyway. Great movie, right? Now that I got older and I sit back and I had a chance to really watch it, this was totally out of his jurisdiction of acting. We've never seen him in this kind of role before. He controlled every aspect of that movie. Literally, he controlled every aspect of that movie. Any scene that he was in, there was nobody that was front and center above him.
True.
So I mean, like, to see him dominate in that space, because, like, you got to remember, like, in all the rest of the movies that he's in, right? He had some great roles, but to me, this one was Like this one is probably his most prominent role, only because not because he's a bad cop. I think it's just the fact that his acting is so good. Like he makes you believe. Like this is one of those things to where you don't even look at Denzel the same. Like to me, that I didn't see Denzel in that role. I seen the dude that was a fucking dirty cop. Like he literally was like out of himself in that one. So I think that when they gave him this an award for this, like it was fitting.
I mean, but he did do Hurricane and he got Game before he did that. So now when it comes to Hurricane, he was a person that was falsely accused of a crime. So it wasn't that he was a bad guy. Even if he got Game, like you kind of felt for him because it was like, okay, it was in the heat of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't trying to kill her. You know what I'm saying? Like he was trying to discipline his son, and he just threw his arm. He didn't know that she was going to hit her head and fucking die. So it's
you also got to remember too, when He Got Game, like He Got Game was also surrounded around Ray Allen. It wasn't really focused on. I mean, like Denzel had his time, but it was more so like of a Ray Allen movie. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't really a Denzel movie. Like to me, I feel like in He Got Game, even though he did a great job at being the dad in this movie, like he was, I don't know, he felt like a supporting actor in this movie.
A strong one. But but his effect was felt though, because
100%.
Ray Allen, Jesus Shuttlesworth was holding around that fucking not guilt, but like that anger of this man killing his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like my thing was, it was just like I guess the point I'm trying to make was like this was a different role because he's never played a dirty cop. He's played cops, but he's never played a dirty one. And
I'm trying to think. He was a dirty cop at Out of Time, wasn't he?
Out of Time wasn't out yet. Out of Time came out in 2002.
Out of Time was. Hold on, real quick. So Out of Time
they came out 2001. It came out 2002. No, actually, it came out 2003. Actually, 2003.
Yeah.
I love Out of Time.
Wow.
I love Out of Time.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you why I was confused, because that movie looked old as shit.
The way it was shot, it looks old.
Yeah.
I tell you something else. Man on Fire. The way it was shot, it looks old.
Yeah.
It looks old, dude. I watched that shit a couple weeks ago, dude. It is so crazy to look at Dakota Fanning now, dude. Like she's fucking grown now.
She's played in so many roles. Like, speaking of her, like I didn't know she was in one of the Twilights, right?
Yeah.
So my wife was a huge Twilight. Well, she is a huge Twilight fan. So I forgot, for one of the movies, she made me go to Walmart. Well, we stood in line in Walmart to order like the super deluxe version of one of the movies. And so we sitting here and we watching this movie, and this little, like, it looked like a little girl, but you know it's not a little girl. And you looking at her, I'm like, damn, she looked familiar as shit. And she was like, yeah, that's that one girl from the one movie.
Dude,
and I'm looking, I'm like, hold up, Dakota Fanning? She was like, I think that's her name. And I get to look and I'm like, God damn. I'm like, man, she's still like a little fucking kid.
Dude, it's crazy. Dude, I was looking at Hide and Seek like last night. I wasn't watching it, but it's just crazy to look at. It's like, damn, she grown now. It's like, I'm getting old, dude. Like, I'm getting old. But no, Out of Time and Man on Fire was kind of shot old, but like,
yeah.
But to get back to it, look, he killed Lonzo. And then we get the most iconic scene. I mean, it's got to be, as far as like memorable moments of any movie. It was when Jake flipped out on his ass and he gave that fucking speech. Like, dude, I can look at that speech anytime. And then I love when he does. They're like, see, I like the small little shit. Like when he was telling them, he was like, y'all gonna do this to me, and then he was like, I'm gonna put cases on all you bitches.
Oh no, he said all you sons of bitches. I'm gonna
And
have
then,
y'all 24 hour, 23 hour lockdown.
lockdown.
Shoot,
He said, y'all gonna be in Pelican Bay. And then he threw a small little Jake.
Man, what?
Y'all think I could do this to me?
Man,
King
that was
Kong
that
ain't
shit.
got shit on me. And it was just like, oh my God, but you could
Shoot
feel
program,
that.
nigga. That was my shit, bro.
And
No,
then he was,
that shit was in every goddamn. That was on every mixtape for the next like 3 to 4 months.
dude, one of the best things you ever said. And dude,
Yeah.
he was spitting and everything. It was just like you could feel that shit.
Yeah.
And then when he got shot up, when the Russians finally caught up to him, the way he was taking out, man, look.
No, I'm gonna tell you the coldest scene in that movie, right? And this is where I say, this is why I say that when you watch this movie, bro, you forget that this is Denzel. So remember when Jake finally find out what's going on, right? They go to his house. No, or they at his house, or they at his girl house, and his son is there. So his girl is in the bed, Eva Mendes, right? And salute to this scene too, because this is one of the scenes that I loved in the movie. Eva Mendes jumps out of bed, butt ass naked. Okay, and she backs up. She grabs the covers and backs up. And if you pause it, if you have VHS at this time, because I had it on VHS, and you pause it, you can see her butt naked, and then you keep watching it, right? So hey man, come on, man, listen. We just got off of the horror stuff, bro. I love boobies. So she backed up and she grabbed the covers and put them up over her, right? So I forgot what happened. He grabbed the shotgun and he's looking for Jake in the house, but I forgot what happened. Somehow Jake had his son. He starts speaking fucking Spanish, fluent fucking Spanish, to his son. While he got the shotgun on Jake. And he's shooting the shotgun. But he talking to his son. His son ain't even budging. He just hears his dad. And he just speaking fluent. I'm like, yo, how great is fucking Denzel Washington to be in this situation? He talking shit to Jake, but then he stopped talking shit to Jake. Switch over, start talking to his son, but he's speaking fluent Spanish. I'm like, bro, that to me, that was the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, that motherfucker, man. Denzel is that dude, man. And you want to know one of the movies, one of my favorite Denzel movies that nobody talk about. It's one of those ones that's like it's kind of swept under the rug because it came out after Mo Better Blues, and it's like nobody really think about it, dude.
Yeah.
Because I think this is another reason why I get slept on, right? So Glory comes out in '89, Mo Better Blues come out in '90, right? Then Malcolm X come out in '92, but he did a movie in between that time, Ricochet.
I never seen Ricochet.
Never seen Ricochet. Oh my God! Listen to me. He was Nick Styles, and basically what it is, like he was running. So he was a cop, right? And he arrested this dude, and the dude ended up getting out, broke out or some shit like that. And so what he started doing was, instead of just running away, he wants to fuck up Nick Styles' life, right?
Yeah.
So he would do shit like one thing that he did was he drugged him, drained his pool, right? And he had video of him. He's drugged now. He can't do nothing. But he hired this prostitute to have sex with him. And he sent the tape to his wife. And so he's trying not to seem crazy. He was like, I'll tell you where he had me. So they go to the fucking place, but then they filled the food back up. So they making him look like a fucking nut. And he's like, the food empty. Like, it was just empty. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was like one of those type shits. So it was making him look crazy. His wife was about to leave him. Ice-T was in this movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He ended up getting Ice-T to help him. Because Ice-T was a gangster, but I'm thinking that like they was like friends back in the day, but he chose the law and he chose to be a gangster. Yeah. And like so they ended up teaming up in the end to get the dude back locked up again, but he ended up dying. But like Ricochet, dude, it was a really, really fucking good movie, but nobody talks about it because it's like in the middle of those classics.
Yeah,
like dude,
that
Ricochet, you like that.
That will fucking do it. But man, listen. So you know what I'm saying? Like Denzel to me, right? He's one of those guys who he has like these moments in time that it seems like are forever. And you know what I'm saying? Like he had this moment in time like where he was the man, right? And to this day, like any woman that's between the ages of I say maybe 40 and maybe 45 because what? Yeah, okay. So between the ages of 45 and 65, right? Denzel was like the one for them, right? And he was literally every woman's dream guy in the 90s. He was literally he was a sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, it was a thing where, like, it was in movies, it was in comedy, all that shit. Like, women would say, like, niggas was Denzel fine.
Yep.
Like, this dude was literally the man. There was no role that Denzel was in that was really, like, bad. I don't think he's ever had a bad role. He's probably been in, like, maybe a few bad movies. But, like, any role that he's been in, he's really killed. And one of those roles was Remember the Titans. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a Disney movie, and you know what I'm saying, it was a timepiece. It was one of those like based on, you know what I'm saying, true events type movies or whatever. And you know what I'm saying, they was talking about how a coach took over a high school team during, you know what I'm saying, a time of, you know what I'm saying, like racial injustice, and well, we still in racial injustice, but you know what I'm saying, like just at a time where racial tensions was super high, you know what I mean? Like he made black players play with white players, and like he really took this role on, and he really brought life to this person. And I know it's weird to say, but it's like nobody knew anything about the Titans. Well, unless you lived there, maybe. But, like, a lot of people didn't know about the Titans. But when this movie came out, like, Denzel brought this role to life. And he made you feel everything. Like, if you watch this movie, one of the most iconic scenes is he's watching, like, a news broadcast or whatever. And the coach that they're playing against next week says something like they're like a bunch of monkeys or something like that. They go to play.
He said, he just said that. They asked him, was he going to shake hands with him? He said, so I'm not going to shake a hand with a monkey.
Yeah, they go to play him, right? They beat the shit out of this team, and then instead of shaking hands with him, he handed him a banana.
Hold on, whoa. You skipped the part.
Yeah.
Now, when they was playing them, the referees, because there was some other shit going on. See, this is what it was. See, it was that he took over a school that was just created because they integrated the school.
Yep.
And so it was all white, and then they brought the blacks in and made it mix. So the coach that was supposed to be the head coach, he ended up just being the defensive coordinator. Right? So to fast forward back to that game, they was cheating like a motherfucker. They was calling holding calls when nobody wasn't holding. They was calling a whole bunch of bullshit. So the coach, he was up to be elected to be a Hall of Fame coach.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because his daughter was always on there.
Yeah. So he walks out on the field, the defense coordinator, and was like, look, I will go to every press, people, all this type shit, and I will get you fired, whatever. And then they ran the score up, ended up winning. And so he handed the coach the banana. But then at the same time, those people came down to that one coach and said, because see, they wanted him to lose. They wanted Coach Boone to lose the game so he could become the head coach, because they told him when the season started, you lose a game, not when the season started, it was like in the middle of the season. They said, you lose a game, you're out. And so he had the pressure.
Damn, I forgot all about that.
Yeah. So if he lost the game, he was getting fired, and they expected him to lose, and this motherfucker just went and ran the table.
Yeah.
So like, Remember the Titans is one of those movies, man. I agree with you on that. It's one of those movies, playing a fictional person, and they said that the real Coach Boone was unlikable. They said motherfucker didn't like him. It was like he was hard, and he was hard on him, but. In the 70s, that's regular shit. Like, I dealt with that shit in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, that was nothing. Like, that's how coaches just coach. You know what I'm saying? But to bring that film to life the way that he did was awesome. And he loved doing those movies where, because like I said, he did Hurricane right before that. He did another true story and Remember the Titans. And then another true story, he ended up producing and directing and playing in it. Was Anquan Fisher. And that shit. And I think Anquan Fisher probably, because see, I was a junior in high school when this came out. So I was around, 16, 17 years old. I think this is the first time, other than The Lion King, so this is the second time. This was the second time I actually cried during the movie.
You cried during Anquan Fisher?
Oh my God. Dude, listen. Derek Luke is the best TV crier I've ever seen in my life.
Yo, Derek Luke killed that movie.
Killed it.
Killed that movie.
And you would just what made it so sad was the fact of this shit really happened. He was so beat down in his life. He was sexually assaulted. He was beaten. He was called nigga to the point where he thought nigga was his name. And it was just but the scene that made me cry was when he was talking about when Derek Luke was talking to him in the bathroom because it wasn't during one of their sessions because he played like a therapist. Denzel Washington was he was like a therapist for the Navy.
Yeah.
And so he was talking to him in the bathroom, and he was telling him I don't know why it's blanking out, but he was telling him a story, and the way that he was crying, telling that story, and him and Denzel had hugged in that bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like, oh my God, man, it's just and that's what film can do to you. And when you play these real roles like that, man, Denzel, he just does it to you, man.
I didn't cry during Antoine Fisher though. I cried during Glory.
I didn't cry to Glory. The only other one that I came close to was John Q.
Oh, I definitely cried during John Q. Okay, listen. So this is the thing. I watched John Q when I was 20. My first time seeing it, I was 26.
Oh, so you late on it.
Super late. But my first time actually watching it and actually watching it through and actually watching it, because it came out during it came out to what, 2002, 2003?
It came out 2002.
Okay, so 2002. Once again, I'm in 7th, 8th grade. So I'm not really watching John Q. But at 26, right? So at 26, I'm a father for the first time. I got, I got 2 kids. I got a stepdaughter and I got an actual son, right? So I'm watching John Q. And, he watched his son go down and he going through the hotel. He going through the hospital. And this nigga's really putting his life on the line so his son could get a heart. Bro, having a son and watching this movie, a young baby boy watching this movie, I boo-hooed, bro. I had to. Because it was I would do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I think that's because John Q was the movie that was, I think that there was a time where people was fuck insurance companies. You know what I'm saying?
No,
this movie really caused a movement.
Company though. It was just the fact that okay, you go in there and the doctor comes to tell you, and I know what you mean when you say fuck the insurance companies, but I think it's more than just the insurance company. It's just the system in general. You go in there and you talking, you want your son to get this transplant, you know that it can make him better. and then this motherfucker tells you that you have to pay a certain amount in order for this shit to happen. It's a fucking life on the line. This is my seed. This is my child. So like when I watched that movie, like all I can envision was my fucking daughter and my son sitting there, and I'm like, I would do the same thing. To me, I'm not gonna lie, I'd have killed a couple people.
Yeah, like John Q. Listen, it was a great movie, and the throw in, smile like Eddie Griffin. You know what I'm saying? To give it a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of spice, but it was a really good movie. That movie really caused a movement, man. Like it made because he was one of those type guys where when he got arrested at the end, like people was rooting for him to get off. They're like, like he didn't do nothing wrong. He done something that I would have done. A lot of people felt that role. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you another one, man, that was kind of like that, like Man on Fire.
Yeah, man. That shit
go like to go against because like Mexico got this thing with fucking kidnapping kids for ransom, and to go and attack that organization the way that he did, like by himself, because like what was so crazy about that movie and like he was a drunk. He basically wanted to kill himself because he had screwed up on his last job, and he was just low on bread. He was like, I just want to drive her back for where she need to go. I don't want to talk. I want a conversation. And he ended up forming this relationship with this little girl, and then she gets kidnapped after he gets shot like fucking 4 or 5 times. And then he just goes after them. And then, like, the way I remember people saying when he died in that movie, they was like, nobody died like Denzel Washington died. I'm like, what are you talking about? And like, he was back in the car, and he's just like, but it was, I don't know, man, like, Man on Fire. But like we were saying, even when it's crazy watching it now, because it's like, like I said, I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and to see Dakota Fanning.
But see, you can relate to it now, though. Like, yeah, you can really relate to that shit now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I probably couldn't relate to it at the time, but like, then to realize that this is actually some real shit that's going on, like, I mean, not to say that. I mean, the shit. How often do we really hear about a motherfucker being held for ransom in America? I've never really heard of it.
Probably not for ransom, but it's just like to me, it's the trafficking part. You know what I mean? Like, just knowing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? A kid can just get snatched at any time. Like,
because really, the only thing I can think,
we've heard about you know what I'm saying? We hear about that a lot.
Like Paid in Full. Like, that's what happened to, the one kid.
His nephew.
Mitch nephew. Yeah, but you mentioned it. I can't remember. No, we was on the pod. Out of Time is one of my favorite ones. Like, because it's one of those ones that's like kind of under the radar, but like it's one of those movies where you're literally like on the edge of your seat, like the whole movie. It's called Out of Time because it's like he's running out of time on everything, and it's just like every scene he's about to get caught up in some shit, and it's like, because like this is my thing with Out of Time. So you would look at it and you'd be like, he's not getting out of this one. Like, through the whole movie, you're going through your cycle in your head, like, ain't no way.
And he's getting find his way out of all that shit.
Out of all of it, every single time. That's what I love about it.
This is why I say Denzel is the greatest, right? This is the thing about the time. He was cheating on his girl.
No, they wasn't together. Remember? They wasn't together. They broke up. Remember, she moved out. Remember, at the end, she moved back in.
Yeah. No, I know what I'm saying. But he had a girl, though. He was trying to get her back.
Well, I mean, who would? I mean, come on. Who his wife was?
Listen. No. A woman would say that he was cheating. But Denzel was that dude so much. Listen, Denzel was that dude so much that no woman has ever brought this up about him playing this role. No woman has ever brought this up. This is how good Denzel is. He's so good that this nigga was in a situation where he would be cheating in real life. No woman has ever brought this up about Denzel.
I guess I never really thought about it because like the way that they was talking, like they worked with each other, so they had to see each other. And like, cause she was saying how, she was coming to get the rest of her stuff. So it's like she was in the middle of moving out. But the thing is, his new girl had a whole dude in the house. You know what I'm saying?
And he was okay. So he was a part of an affair, and he was having an affair. No woman still has brought this up and said anything about this. Denzel is that dude. He needs an Oscar just for that. This is the first nigga to cheat on his girl, right? In a woman's situation, a woman, like I said, a woman would say he was cheating. He's in a situation where a woman would say that's cheating. And this nigga never gets picked apart for this shit. Denzel is literally the greatest dude on earth, bro.
He is, man. And then like he has played like a cop so many times, like I said, he won for the Dirty Cop, And one of the cop movies he played in that I love that a lot of people don't really talk about. It had its moment at the time, but Deja Vu, like I thought Deja Vu was really good.
Yo, that was a great movie.
It was, man. But it's like it had its time in like it had its time in but that's the thing. Like that was like Paula Patton coming up. Like that was like her come up. So like a lot of people was really talking about her. Oh yeah, but she's still fine.
Yeah, she was fine.
But like
she was fine.
It was just crazy how it felt like Deja Vu had a moment, but I thought that Deja Vu was really good, and I thought the concept of it was great.
Well, remember they was hating on Deja Vu though. The critics were saying Deja Vu was horrible, but that was a good movie.
Man, they crazy. See, that's why I hate critics, man. That's why when it comes to like Rotten Tomatoes and like the IMDb, like the way they like rate it and stuff, like I don't care about none of that. Like I'm a guy. If it's something that I want to see, I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah. So okay, well, I'm not gonna say rumor, but you know what the legend or the myth is, right?
On what?
Okay, so about if you ever watch a movie, right? They say that if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, the better the score is, the worse the movie is. The worse the score is, the better the movie is. So like if a movie like they said it's only like a handful of movies that had like a high Rotten Tomatoes score that was actually good. But those are usually like your Black Panthers, the Avengers and shit like that, right? Like box office movies, like the big movies. But like if you look at like a regular movie and it has like a high Rotten Tomatoes score, it's usually a trash movie.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, man. I totally agree with that because a lot of times they just be fucking a lot of shit up, man. But like this dude, man, like he just never stops. And then and I feel like there's movies like Unstoppable. I thought Unstoppable was good. And that's another true story that really happened. And just the fact of how they shitted him over, like, you know what I'm saying? How he was training his replacement to take his job. And then this train shit happens where, dude hit the damn gear and then it's this unstoppable train or whatever. He could have just been like, because that was like his
Ryan. That was Ryan Reynolds, right?
No. That was Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. Which one was Ryan Reynolds in?
That was Safe House.
Safe House. Oh, that was a good one too.
Safe House was fucking awesome. But like Unstoppable, man, it's just a movie that a lot of people don't really talk about, but it was great. But I tell you, it's gonna be tough saying this because he was great. Listen, he was great. He great in everything he do. But one of the movies where he had me fucking hot. Now he did a phenomenal job. I think this is probably his best work. But he made me so mad in this movie. Flight.
Like, he was the drunk pilot.
Man, listen.
He was the drunk pilot. Yo, that was awesome.
Dude, he had me so mad. Man, when he was in that hotel room and he was able to get into that other door and he found he seen that alcohol. He shut that refrigerator. and then they go away, and he opened that bitch. I was like, come on, man. You did not drink.
That man still did his job.
That's the thing. He still did it, but he got to the point where he was, and that's another true story. That's what I'm saying. Like, he embodies these true stories, and it's like he'd be looking for these films where, you know, where they do these based on a true story, based on true event stuff. And like he just embodies it and he takes it in, but it's just like to really think like how he played that role, to be able to play the drunk that he did. Because this motherfucker, the thing about like playing drunk, it's like it may seem like an easy thing to do, but I don't think it's as easy as people think it is.
Yeah.
But just the person that he played, like Whitaker, like it was, dude, that scene had I don't remember ever getting that emotional, like mad at a person, other than watching damn Flight. I was so mad, boy, when he snatched, and it was just the way he snatched that damn that mini bottle out that damn mini fridge, and then they had to whip him back into shape, and he was able to sit in front of that judge, and he was just like, man, I can't tell another lie, man. He was like, I can't tell another lie. But that was one of those movies, man. It was just like, you know what you should have did. I don't know if we getting ready for. Now we ain't ready for it yet because we got to talk about his offspring. But we should have did sleepers, man. We should have did top 5 sleeper.
We can do sleepers
because
we can go ahead. We can do both.
Okay, because it's just some movies that he done that are so under the radar that people just don't really talk about. Because like with him winning an Oscar for Training Day, like Training Day is great. You know what I'm saying? But shit, like you said, like you haven't seen Ricochet. Like Ricochet is fucking awesome, man. Like, it is awesome. But what is your thoughts on now? This is the thing. Now, I'm not really gonna talk about her because I don't know much. I was just watching the interview and I remember him saying something about it, but I think she's more behind the camera though. His daughter, well, I can't say if I'm mistaken because it came out of his mouth first, but I remember him doing an interview and he said that she's like either a producer or a writer or something on Mr. Robot. And a person on my route been trying to get me to watch Mr. Robot forever, and I just started back watching now. I'm on the 2nd season now, but but the one that's in front of the camera with a whole ton of fucking expectations on him is his son, John David Washington. Man, what did you have to say about?
Okay,
John?
so my first introduction to John David Washington was Black Klansman. And I heard, so many great things about Black Klansman. I heard how, people were saying that it was a great movie. They were saying, excuse me, they were saying how, this actor killed it and they did a great job. So usually when I hear people talk about how good a movie is, and then I also hear the same thing from, the critics, usually to me it's not a good movie. So I kind of waited probably about, I think I seen Black Klansman probably about like 3 months after it came out. And he was amazing in that role. For him to be able to really embody the character that he had to play, I think that was very special. I mean, like you can tell who, like you can tell that acting gene was, in him. But I mean, like from beginning to end, man, he really did a great job of, playing that pro-Black, playing that pro-Black side, and then even switching it up to, being able to get on the phones and talk to these people and manipulate these people, and then bringing in somebody else and you know what I'm saying, making them think that this is the person. So I mean, like, just to see how the whole movie came together, and just to see how everything, you know what I'm saying, like, was, you know what I'm saying, like, meshed together. I think that John David was amazing in this role. I know he had other roles outside of Black Klansman, but like my first time getting the introduction to him was just that movie. And it was like, that movie was amazing. And I don't think anybody else could have been in that role, because it's like, I feel like if you would have took a big name actor and put him in that role, you wouldn't have got the same feeling. You know what I mean? It would have been like if Jamie Foxx played that, it would have been like, oh, Jamie Foxx plays a guy who, you know what I mean? But it was just like, he's not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not, well, at the time, he wasn't really a major actor. We really didn't know who he was. And then to find out that he's Denzel Washington's son after he does this great performance in this movie is like, oh yeah, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we get it. We get why he really, you know what I'm saying, took this role and made this his own role. Because I mean, like, to me, I felt like that was the guy.
I feel you. My thing, that wasn't the first time I was introduced to him. I was introduced to him with Ballers. I used to watch every episode of Ballers, and I didn't know initially it was him until, as a matter of fact, because they done their second interview a couple of weeks ago. I think Jamel Hill was interviewing him. And she talked about him in Ballers and how that was when he was really trying to avoid his name type of thing.
Yeah. And
so I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's him? Because you can't tell by looking at him. He really don't look like Denzel. And Black Klansman, when he was doing that voice, some words that he would say, he would sound like Denzel, but he don't look like him.
Kind of.
And so I think that, you know, like I said, I've only seen him in Ballers, Black Klansman. I haven't seen Tenet yet.
Yeah, I still got to see Tenet.
But I think that he really has a very bright future, and I think that, you know, for a person to try to avoid their name and to go through the grind and the struggle. I mean, that's just like with Ice Cube with his son. Like, he didn't give him that role of him in NWA. Right. As a matter of fact, he said that he didn't even get it. He said that they brought him back. Like, they pretty much like fired him and brought him back. And it was just like, no, like, you got to work for it. Like, yeah, you probably the best person to play me, but you know what I'm saying? I got to see it. I got to really see it, and for you to take it serious. And I think that when it comes down to these people who have these famous kids, you know, because a lot of the times, man, these people have a lot of expectations on it, and motherfuckers don't pan up to it. It's just like you use sports, man. Like Barry Sanders Jr. Like, I mean, okay, he ended up going.
You're not gonna know. You're not gonna do that. Don't you skip over the obvious. Don't you dare skip over the obvious. Say his name. You know both of them. Say their names.
What? Jerry Rice son?
Hell no. Michael Jordan's kid. Them niggas are the worst basketball players of all time. Them niggas is trash. They was horrible.
Oh man. I will say this though. If you want to make a comparison. Now I know it's early. Now. I'm just saying. Denzel Washington, John David Washington. I'm just saying. LeBron James, Bronny Jr.
And Bronny, come on, let's go.
That motherfucker looking good.
Go. I'm with you.
I'm just saying.
I'm with you.
I know he's still in high school.
I'm with you.
But
I'm with you.
It looks very promising. It looks very promising.
Yes, sir. I am with you. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. But you know what though? We speaking about his Denzel Washington's lineage in Hollywood, right? If you really want to talk about one of his, well, I guess you could say, well, I'm gonna say it's his other son. It's his son that he didn't have. You know what I'm saying? It's a young man who kind of took Denzel Washington's lane in a way. You know what I'm saying? He played. We know him as every historical Black figure that's been put on big screen since 2010. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been in some of the greatest movies that we've seen so far. He's been in some smaller roles too, but he's the only black superhero to have a movie out right now that we, you know what I'm saying, that we can see in comic books and everything else. Because I'm not gonna forget about Meteor Man. I'm not gonna forget about Blank Man. Those two are top notch superheroes, and I won't forget about either one of them. But we talking about a guy who basically took on the mantle of a black superhero, made they made a movie out of it, and basically he got his own franchise out of it. And then on top of that, he was in the probably the biggest superhero / comic book franchise to date right now. And we talking about Chadwick Boseman, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. But you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Denzel Washington, we may have never been able to see the greatness of Chadwick Boseman.
This is true. This is true. You know, like I said, he's from Anderson, real close to where I'm from. Actually, you know what I'm saying? My girl went to the same school, graduated from the same school, T.L. Hannah. They didn't go to school together. He's older, way older.
Yeah.
But to hear the story of him telling him about, him, needing tuition money, and then just this guy and the guy ended up being Denzel, just paid for his tuition. He just picked a guy and just paid for his tuition, and not knowing what that was going to become. But for him to do that dude, it is very amazing. And then the one thing I would say before we jump into the you know what I'm saying, the thing that we was going to do, and you said that you're going to allow us to do the sleeper thing too.
For sure.
The fact of Denzel Washington, man, I wish I could remember who it was with. He was doing an interview with somebody. This was like 5, 6 years ago. And he says, I still go to acting school.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, get the fuck out. I think it was with the Breakfast Club, I think it was Charlamagne. He was like, get the fuck out of here. He was like, no. He was like, I still go. He was like, just because, I'm not, saying what he was saying. It was just basically the way he explained, the way I took it was, okay, I might have mastered the craft like in your eyes, but you never can stop learning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just like Steph Curry's not going to stop shooting jump shots. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I'm going to keep going in there and sharpening the iron and getting better. Maybe I can learn something from these young people and all this type of stuff. And for somebody to be this great to a point where they can pick films, they don't have to audition for nothing, but to still go to acting school. Now, I don't know if he still do it 2019. You can't say 2020 anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he still do as far as 2019, but I know as of up until like 5 years ago or whatever, he was still going to acting school. Like, how many people do you know? Like, is Leonardo DiCaprio still going to fucking acting school? You know what I'm saying? It's like, for Denzel to be this great, you can never, like, nobody on the face of this planet can say, I'm too good for acting school, because if Denzel Washington's not too good for it,
ain't nobody too good for it. Yeah, ain't nobody too good for it. I'm with you on that, man. It's like, man, it's so many, you know what I'm saying, things that he's done, bro, like, that really just kind of open the gates for other people to do. Like, if you think about it, like, how many great comedians have impersonated Denzel Washington? Like, how many times have you watched Comic View or a stand-up or I don't know, Comedy Central, and the dude did a good 2 to 3 minutes on a Denzel Washington impersonation? Like, this is somebody who is like super iconic, man. And like I said, for him to do what he did for Chadwick Boseman, and for Chadwick to go on and do all the great work that he did in that short span of time, like, to me, I feel like it was more than just giving him tuition. Like, in a way, bro, he kind of gave him some magic. And it's like, this is what Denzel Washington has done. Like, he has a son who's killing it right now. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, we had the untimely death of Chadwick, but at the time, Chadwick was murdering roles, bro. He was like doing his thing from Black Panther. Black Panther 2 was coming out. Then, you know what I'm saying, the Avengers movies. And then he did a couple Netflix movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, Jackie Robinson. Like, dude was doing his thing. Like, to me, it seemed like there was nothing that he couldn't do. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, for Denzel to be a part of each of those two and the work that they've put out so far, I mean, like, that just serves as a testament to just how great Denzel is outside of not just acting, but, you know what I'm saying, his production. You know what I'm saying? Like, just all of the stuff that he's done, man. Like, Denzel is like dope, bro. He's too good, man.
Too good,
so
too good, man.
So you said that we're gonna do some sleepers. Top five sleepers.
I'll start, man. Like, and when I say
go ahead.
My sleeper is as far as, not that the movies were bad or anything like that. It's just the movies that, like, when you say Denzel, like, the movies that, like, people don't really mention. That's kind of like, that was really good that motherfuckers just don't really, you know. And the very first one, number 5, that I wanted to start with was, and I mentioned it to you last episode, Crimson Tide.
Okay.
Like, Crimson Tide, man, it was a tight area. It was pretty much on a submarine the whole time. Him and Gene Hackman was fucking going at it, man. And like, you could just feel it, like, when you just in, like, this tight area and it's a motherfucker you don't fuck with and y'all just going at it. He did a really great job in that. The 4th one is Unstoppable. I just feel like that's one of those movies that it just goes over people's head. People don't really remember it. The number 3, now, it was tough with doing this number 3 because I really wanted to do another movie because I felt like this movie had a rollout, but I think people just didn't like it as much. And that was Safe House. I was really struggling with Safe House and Antoine Fisher.
Safe House is that shit.
It was, but, like, it seems like, I don't know, man. Like, at the time, it seemed like it was hot, and then it flamed out really quick. And I feel like people will forget about it. My number 2 would be Deja Vu. I think Deja Vu is really, like you said, you read something where people was killing it, saying it wasn't a good movie. But it had its time. But my top sleeper, man, I really want you to look it up, man. Ricochet, man. Like, Ricochet, like, motherfuckers don't remember because it was just in the middle of Glory and fucking Malcolm X, and it just, like, it just got skipped over, man. If you get a time, watch fucking Ricochet. Ricochet was really good. That's my sleeper list.
Okay, so my sleeper list, you know what I'm saying? We got one of them that's the same. My first one is Safe House. You know what I'm saying? I thought that him and Ryan Reynolds did a great job in that movie. Just the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you see Denzel in action movies. You've been seeing him lately, but, like, that was really kind of outside his lane during the time. My second one was Inside Man. That was an awesome movie. You know what I'm saying? He played a negotiator in that movie. He did his thing. Clive Owen was in that movie. You know what I'm saying? They had a very good cast in that. Two Guns, which is my third. Him and Mark Wahlberg. I thought that was a real odd coupling, but it came out to pretty much be a good movie. I thought that it was a pretty funny movie. Once again, you know what I'm saying? You get to see guys that we talked about this on the last podcast. But, you know what I'm saying, you get to see guys actually be funny in some roles that, you know what I'm saying, that they usually you don't see them be funny in. And then he played like an old man in this one, which was even funnier. So, like, he played like an older guy compared to Mark Wahlberg. So I thought that was a good one. The Preacher's Wife, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the movies that when it came out, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, loved it for, what was it, Whitney Houston?
Yeah, Whitney.
That was Whitney, right? Yeah. I don't know why I was about to say Beyonce. Which one was Beyonce?
She was in Man.
Temptation.
Shit.
Fighting Temptation.
Fighting Temptation, yeah.
I get them.
Her and
I
Cuba
get them
Gooding Jr.
confused all the time. Yeah. I get them confused. But The Preacher's Wife was a good one. A lot of people, love it because of Whitney Houston, but I think Denzel did a great job in that as well. And then my last one is Philadelphia. Now, this was a very older movie. My first time seeing it was in high school. I forgot why we watched it in high school, but it was a great movie. Him and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was really like the focus of the movie, but Denzel was playing like a naval captain or something in this movie, and he did another awesome job in this one. And it was real to the point. It was a drama. You know what I'm saying? He kind of took a few of the scenes away from Tom Hanks in that one. But yeah, that's my sleeper list.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Now we're gonna have to do the list where you made me call you an asshole. You starting this time. Hey,
yeah.
I was so bad, but I was here hurting. I was hurting last night. I was hurting.
All right, so I want to do the honors on this one.
Okay.
So now I'm not gonna do from 1 to 5. This one I'm gonna go from 5 to 1. All right.
Okay.
So at my 5, right? You already know how I feel about this subject. You know what I'm saying? You know that I was on the debate team in high school. If anybody don't know, I was on the quiz team and the debate team in high school. And I love the, do the back and forth. I love the debate shows and sports. So The Great Debaters is my number 5. He had a very, very significant scene in this movie to where he was talking to I forgot his name. He did what is the dude's name? He did Nat Turner.
He did Nat Turner, Nate Turner.
Yeah.
And I know what you're talking about.
Nate Parker.
Nate Parker. You talking about
it was
the Willie Lynch.
Yep, he was talking about Willie Lynch. It was the scene where Nate Parker is, I believe he's debating I don't blank on her name. Yeah, I ain't gonna say his name. He was debating the Smollett sister, right? And they were going back and forth, but Nate Parker was having a tough time doing it. And like when he got into this Willie Lynch speech, like to me that shit sent chills through my body. So you know what I'm saying? I thought that was a good one. My 4th one was Out of Time. Like I said, man, I said it earlier. You know what I'm saying? Denzel had an affair. He was in a relationship with a girl who had an affair. No black woman has brought this up, and somehow Denzel was still the sexiest man alive to all black women. He was a sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? Women was talking about Denzel fine. They never brought Out of Time up. So that's my number 4. My number 3 was probably one of the dopest movies that Denzel Washington has done, and that's The Book of Eli. The whole time he was blind, we didn't realize that he was blind until the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time we realized that he carrying around a Bible in the apocalypse. And Gary Oldman is in this movie. He plays a great villain in this movie. Which it was a dope concept, dope storyline. Everything about this movie was amazing. Me and my mom loved this movie. We actually had conversations about this movie. My second one was He Got Game, Ray Allen's first feature film. You know what I'm saying? For him to be the star of this movie, Spike Lee joint. Then you bring Denzel into it, playing his father. You know what I'm saying? Like so many different things about, you know what I'm saying, college basketball, high school basketball, the relationship between the father and son. You know what I'm saying? The relationship between a black father and son. You know what I'm saying? Coming from, you know what I'm saying, a place like New York. So many different things, you know what I'm saying? You bring in New York basketball, all these great elements in one big ball of a concept into such a great movie as He Got Game. And then my number 1, which is probably no surprise to anybody that knows me, is Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? It's another Spike Lee joint. It was heavily based off of the autobiography of Malcolm X, which is in part written by Alex Haley. A lot of stuff in there is kind of iffy. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that may or may not be true, but I read the autobiography of Malcolm X probably about 15 times. So for me to actually see that book come to life on film because of Spike Lee was amazing. I'm not going to lie to you. Denzel he did a Jamie Foxx before Jamie Foxx. He was Malcolm X in this movie. He was Detroit Red in this movie. There's no way you can tell me that Denzel Washington and Malcolm X are not somewhat related. I know that there are pictures online where you can go look up who and see who Malcolm X really is, and then go see that movie and see who Denzel was when he played Malcolm X. And I'm telling you, they look damn near similar. Like they look like they're somewhat related. And then, of course, we got one of the greatest memes of all time when Malcolm X answers the phone. He gets the bad news. He hangs the phone up and he slams his fist on the table, and somebody made that into a GIF and a meme, and that is one of the greatest of all time. I use it multiple times. Anytime somebody says something stupid, I've used it against Skip Bayless multiple times as well. So that's my top five. I'm gonna go real quick again. It's the Great Debaters, Out of Time, The Book of Eli, He Got Game, and of course Malcolm X.
Man, I was out of time. I would tell you my two. Well, actually, it's the. How are you an asshole, man? Man, it was so hard. Like leaving, dude. All right, okay. I'm gonna do like you from 5 to 1. Number 5. It was, dude. My God, I got Training Day at number 5. I just feel like for him to be able to perform that role like he was Lonzo, man, and and to win. I'm not mad at him for winning. And that movie was just it changed everything. I'm telling you right now, like everybody went out and bought a fucking Monte Carlo after this movie. Like just the way that he was able to embody it.
I told you, Pelican Bay was on every mixtape for the next 3 to 6 months. That was
like there's so many memes in it, and it, like I said, the most iconic scene was when Jake was walking away and he was doing it. One of the best scenes ever in movies. So that's number 5. Number 4, I got He Got Game. You know, Spike Lee joint. I just feel like, you know, He Got Game is just a story that can relate to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, just they father making one little mistake. I'm not saying that it wasn't wrong what happened, and you should be punished for it. But like, you know, I think that showing that on film, and also they said that they used a little bit of Stephon Marbury's story as far as doing some of the stuff with He Got Game, and I think that he did a phenomenal job in that. You know, you just really felt him. Number 3, man, I got American Gangster. I felt like him being and becoming. I know Uncle Washington. He hates it. He absolutely hates this movie. I get it though, but I can't relate to it because I didn't see it. Uncle Washington saw what Frank Lucas did to New York at that time. Right. So he was always like, if something miracle was to ever happen and I was able to interview Denzel Washington on the Stolen Time podcast, I think the first thing he would say to him was, "Why did you play Frank Lucas?" like that would be like the only thing Uncle Washington.
Well, see, he did it. He did an interview about. He was talking about how Frank Lucas was like the yin and yang in New York at the time too. He was saying how like, yeah, we knew what he was doing, but at the same time, you got to think about it. Like that was the avenue for a lot of black men in that time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he might have, you know what I'm saying? He might have had dope going around in the city, but he was still making sure, you know what I'm saying, kids had, and I think I even talked about this at one point in time on the Stolen Time with y'all too, like how, you know what I'm saying, the pimps and the pushers was really like the protection of the streets at one point in time in black communities. Like, yeah, they sold drugs, they, you know what I'm saying, they had prostitutes, but you know what I'm saying, they was passing out turkeys to the families that needed it. You know what I'm saying, they was giving money to the kids for going to school. You know what I'm saying, they was you know what I'm saying, making sure kids had Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I feel Uncle Washington because you know what I'm saying, we see the result of it, but at the time, like I kind of get it.
Yeah, and my thing is it's more of the performance and how the film ended up coming out. Like I felt like,
oh man,
he actually could have like one of the most memorable scenes was when he had beat up his cousin, and he was telling Huey, he was like, nobody talked to me directly. You call Huey called me, and then he was like, and the dude was trying to clean up that blood spot. He was
You
like,
gotta block that shit.
$5,000 alpaca. He was like, you don't pack that shit, you block that shit.
Hey man, no listen.
Yo, that's an all-time scene.
So I was in high school when this movie came out, and we went to go see this shit in the theater, bro. When I tell you, from beginning to end, bro, we were so enamored. We went to go see this movie 3 times in high school. And then it didn't make it no better that Jay-Z put out a whole soundtrack to this shit. Oh my gosh. Yo, this was probably one of I didn't want to put American Gangster in my top 5 because I'm super biased with this movie. But this can easily fit in my top 5, hands down.
Yeah, like the one that you got me was you had put Out of Time in there. It was really hard not to put Out of Time in there.
Yeah.
Number 2, I can't even really go in on it because I can't do it better than you did. I got Malcolm X in number 2.
Oh man.
Yeah. Woo. So I mean, everybody just heard it. I can't do it better than the way you just did it. But my number 1, this is probably like, as much as I love horror movies, you know what I'm saying? Like, this movie here is like we was talking beforehand, and you were saying something that we haven't done on this platform was a top 5 movies of all time. Yeah. And that's one of the hardest things for me to do. Like, it's going to be so hard. But if we do it, don't be surprised this in it, because these type of movies just do it for me. And my number 1 Denzel movie is The Bone Collector.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I almost flooded. I knew it.
Hey, these fucking murder mysteries, yo.
That movie was amazing.
Yo. And the way they was able to put it together, and this dude was killing people based off a book, and he was leaving these clues, and Denzel was in a bed the whole time.
The whole time. From a hospital bed, bro. Come on, man.
Yo, Denzel is the man, yo. Is the man.
He didn't do no acting in this movie. He laid down and did great. He's the greatest. He's the greatest, bro. He laid down, bro, and still killed him.
Dude, it had a seizure. Man. Every couple of scenes, he had a seizure. That was it.
Come on, man.
But I will say this, though. Man, look. No lie. You know what I'm saying? Hope my old lady don't hear this. That was the best Angelina Jolie ever looked. After that, she became trash. After that, I don't know what happened.
No. I will give it to her in Tomb Raider and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Them two, I give it to her. She was alright in those two.
Okay,
she was alright.
Yeah, she was cool, but she was alright. But this was the best she ever looked. She may have looked the best. But I'm gonna put it like this: Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that's the sexiest she ever was. Yeah, that was the sexiest she ever been. Yeah,
that was the sexiest she ever was.
But as far as like that movie though, like, dude, that movie, like, man, like,
that was a great movie.
Like, that movie was a killer, man. But it was so hard for me. You did it, but it was so hard for me to leave Out of Time out and Corn Fish.
Yeah.
Dude, I was struggling. I'm gonna tell you what I was struggling with the most. What I was struggling with the most was Anquan Fisher, Man on Fire, and Out of Time. That's what I was struggling with the most.
Yeah,
those three.
Any one of those three can easily be put in, man. Especially Antoine Fisher, bro.
Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no wrong answer. Like, I mean, I can't hit on your list. Like, your movie, like all these movies are great, man. Like,
yeah.
I would say this though: the only movie that I wasn't a huge fan of, it had great actors in it. It was a good movie. I just found it boring.
Yeah,
I think that I could appreciate it now. Maybe I could go back now as a 35-year-old. But The Manchurian Candidate,
what?
I thought that shit was boring, yo. I did. Like,
With Lee Schreiber?
Yes.
Man, hey, bro, listen.
That movie, I seen that movie at a young age, and that movie was fire. She was grooming her son, and they was manipulating him and computing on him and all that. Come on, what? They had the fake assassination in there. Come on, man. What are you talking about? Listen, everything about the Manchurian Candidate, right? If you watch the Manchurian Candidate and pay attention to politics now, all that shit makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably the best time to watch it is now.
I'm telling you, Manchurian Candidate was good, bro. I was tuned in at a young age on that one.
I would say the only other movie, but this movie's worse than that one. The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. I never got into the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. With him and what's my man name? What's my man name from Greece and
was it John Travolta?
Yeah, John Travolta. Yeah. I never got into that.
That was all right. Yeah, that was all right. I really wasn't into that one either. The one that a lot of people was talking about that I didn't get into was Roman J. Israel, the Esquire movie, the one that he did in 2017.
I watched it. I would say he did a great job, but
you
know what I'm saying. It was, you know what I'm saying. It was cool. It was cool. Fences was great. We haven't mentioned it. You mentioned it, but Fences was great.
Fences was amazing.
Dude, I liked the Magnificent Seven. I mean, I'm not really in the Magnificent Seven is probably, because this is the thing. It's easy for me to put it in the top 3 because I don't really watch a lot of Western movies, but nothing is gonna top fucking Tombstone. Tombstone was the fucking all-time Western movie of all time.
Magnificent Seven was good because you had to watch the TV show. The TV show was good too, and you can find it here and there. But my grandmother watched Westerns when I was like, that's her shit. Like, I used to be sitting in the living room watching Bonanza with her. So, like, the Magnificent Seven was one of the ones that we watched. So, like, to be able to see him do that one and, like, you know what I'm saying, and do that was a good one. One of the things that I found out that was super dope was HBO used to have this, they used to have, like, these shorts. They used to come on in between movies called Happily Ever After. And he did a couple voiceovers for that. I just, you know what I'm saying, found that out recently. It's another thing that he did that a lot of people don't show no love to, but you got to, and it's the Equalizer 1 and 2. That's one of the things that people don't show my man no love about, because he was whooping people's ass, and he was old.
Dude, like that man. You know, he was basically Tobin Frost, man, in the Equalizer.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's what it was, man. He was Tobin Frost, man, from Safe House.
He was setting his watch. He was whooping people's asses, bro. Yo, the Equalizer 1 and 2, man, they got to give my man Denzel credit, bro. Like, he really showed his ass in the movies, man.
He did, and hey, dude, that Two Guns pick was good, man. I like the Two Guns, man. It's really funny. It's really funny, and it was a weird pairing, but they was able to pull that shit off.
They definitely did. One of the things we didn't really get a chance to, I mean, you mentioned it actually, but we didn't get a chance to get into, because we was talking about how he does these movies to where, you know what I'm saying, like he plays these biographical movies, man. Was The Hurricane. You know what I'm saying? The Hurricane was a true story about Reuben Carter, you know what I'm saying, a great boxer who got charged with a false crime, and you know what I'm saying, like it was real big in what, like the 70s or 60s or something like that, and they made a song about him. I forgot who made the song, but I know the song is called The Hurricane, and they made Denzel Washington was actually on the forefront of bringing this movie to life, and he actually played the role of Reuben Carter. And you know what I'm saying, they go into it, and it was that was a real good movie.
that it was. I liked the Hurricane. It was nice to see him, play a boxer because I mean, Denzel's an athletic dude, man. And we don't really see him really play an athlete. Like the only time we really seen it was He Got Game. And we heard the stories, I mean, about He Got Game, and maybe some of our listeners haven't, but like it was so great to hear the story of, especially the way Spike Lee, because Spike Lee is a great person to listen to. He was being interviewed. He was telling the story of He Got Game, and he told Ray Allen, like in the script, it was he wins 10-0.
Yeah.
And so basically what they did is they just rolled the ball out there. And Denzel scored. And they said Ray Allen looked at them like, yo, what the fuck? Like what's going on? So what ended up happening was they ended up really playing basketball. Because Ray Allen, like, this motherfucker, like, he was like, in the script, man, I'm supposed to win 10-0. And Ray Allen got mad, for real. Because Denzel kept scoring. And like I thought that was so great, man. And that's the thing about films. It's like you will put things in there, but like if something happened and that film is rolling, like just keep that shit going because it might be better than what you actually had down. But but to get back to it, like it was a great film, and Denzel he's the type person where his work is gonna last forever for the true fact of not just the great performances that he does, it's just that he's playing, fictional people and telling a story in a way of really the best way for it to be seen. Now, maybe not read, because sometimes stuff could probably be read better, but like I think when you do this, and like you said, like the next person was the person that wasn't actually his son that sadly passed away. Chadwick Boseman was doing the same thing. Other than the Black Panther joints, he was playing real, biography people, like people that was, James Brown, Floyd Little, Jackie Robinson. Like he was following.
Man, I forgot about the Floyd Little. Oh my goodness. I forgot about that role.
Yeah, it was short. It was real short, but he was on the same path of a Denzel Washington. Even when you look at something like 21 Bridge, you know what I'm saying? Like him playing a cop. Denzel has played a lot of cop movies.
Remember, he played
great actor, man. I can't. I'm glad this was the first person.
He played remember he played a cop in what was that called? Message to the King or something like that? He was like he was from South Africa and he went to go see his sister. I don't think he was a cop. I think he was just revenging his sister's death. He was a cop. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was a South African cop.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it in a while. But But I'm glad
what was the new one? Five Brothers or Five
Bloods?
Burrows or whatever? Five Bloods. Yeah, he was in the military and that one. Like, he doing his thing, man. Well, he was doing this thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, man. I'm glad we did Denzel first, man. Like, he's a whole legend out here, man. A whole legend.
Yeah, buddy.
Man,
great. Oh, the song that I was talking about the hurricane is by Bob Dylan. It's called Hurricane. So
oh, okay.
That was in 76. Yeah, Bob Dylan did a song about that too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's brought up some iconic people, man. Frank Lucas, Hurricane Carter,
Herman Boone.
Who else, man? Yeah, Herman Boone. He played one of the privates in Glory, which was actually based off a true story as well. You know what I'm saying? It's about one of the first
No, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good. But it was based off one of the first regiments in the Civil War, the first black regiment of the Civil War. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? He played some great, you know what I'm saying, roles, man. What was you saying? You said Doc?
Oh, I was saying Dr. Davenport. That's who he plays in Acorn Fisher.
Yeah, right.
And of course Malcolm X. But
Of course, man.
But man, listen,
I'm telling you, bro. He damn near was Malcolm X in that movie, man.
Oh, I would trust me. I know that's why when I got the Malcolm X on my list, I was like, it ain't nothing else I can say. I was like, Scoop said it all. But
man, when
we finally got a new movie to do, man.
What's up? What we doing?
I said we finally got a new movie, man. Something I saw put you on. I seen it, and there's some stuff underground about this film as well that I think people. I will say this is something that a lot of people have access to. It's an Amazon Prime movie, but this movie, man, I haven't seen it circulating like it should. But hopefully we could put a lot of people on, man. We finally got a new film to be able to do. There's a person in it very, very well known. And they killed it.
Second time killing it.
Yeah.
It's a movie they was in. It was a movie they was in beforehand that they was kind of in the same lane, and they did a hell of a job.
Yeah. And I listen, I've been waiting on, see, this type of film that we're doing next is one of those films where when that twist come, I mean, I don't know if I didn't get it until the scene went through. Because me and you talked about it.
I'm with you.
And I'm like,
I was confused as fuck.
Dude, I was thrown for a loop, dude. This next one is gonna be great, man. Like, look.
Yeah, the thing to me about this movie, right, is it did something that a lot of movies don't do, and it's really, to me, in a sense, like if you watch enough of them, you can kind of catch the twist, like when it's happened before it happens. But like the way that they played it out and the way that they like shot certain scenes and everything else like that, it kind of confused you because like the way that they shot the scenes and the way that they play certain stuff, you really couldn't get a grasp on what it was because like the ending, well not the ending, but the twist, you have no kind of information on where this, where this even comes from. So to see it, it's like, oh shit, like what? So yeah, I mean, I think they did a good job being able to conceal the plot twist, being able to conceal the story. Like I said, usually when I watch these things, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen, da da da, or oh yeah, I seen that coming. Like the last movie to do that for me was a movie we just did recently was Antebellum. Like the twist on Antebellum is like, what the fuck? And to me, this is in that same lane. Like, oh shit, what? So yeah, this is gonna be a dope one.
Yes, sir, man. Stay tuned. In. We got so many ideas for this podcast, man. Like, I just feel like,
yeah.
People. This is one of the things. It's very easy to relate to, man. Is movies. People love to sit back and watch a movie and talk about it, or at least hear somebody talking about it. Like this one was a little different. I felt like it flowed good, even though we came up with some shit off the fly. We didn't even have, doing sleepers. That sleeper shit just popped up in my head. But
I think this is one that's gonna make people go back and watch some Denzel movies just to see, how good he really is. Because like we know that he's great, right? We know like he's a legend, he's an icon. We know this. But I think that a lot of us that have seen these movies, especially a lot of people that's probably listening, we didn't probably realize how good he was because we kind of grew up with Denzel. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us were like kids when a lot of his, major movies came out. And then like even the ones that are like huge, like I said, you know, like me specifically, American Gangster. I was in high school when American Gangster came out. So when you know what I'm saying, a lot of these movies that we talking about, you know what I'm saying, for me at least, I had to go back and watch them, you know what I'm saying, later on down the line. And so I think that a lot of people, when they actually get a chance to go back and watch some of these movies, like they will actually see just how good he is, man, how he can just steal a scene and he's not really even doing a lot of, you know what I'm saying, like he's not really even doing a lot. He's just him. You know what I'm saying? Like he just kills it just by being him, man. So I think this is for this episode. I think this is what that's going to do for people.
Dude, to close out what you just said, in the Bone Collector, he was in the bed the whole time,
laying down. He had seizures
the whole time. He had seizures, but other than the seizures, he's laying down.
He acted out. Who can? Come on, man. Solving crime in a hospital bed, brother. Denzel fucking Washington, man. Come on, bro. What we talking about, man? Hey, listen. You don't believe us? You think we lying? Go ask your mom. Go ask your mama about Denzel. She'll tell you. She will tell you, okay?
Oh,
man. Salute to the great Denzel Washington, man. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing being able to see somebody so great and so amazing, you know what I'm saying, really perfect the art craft. And you know what I'm saying, I just learned something on this podcast that you said that, you know what I'm saying, he was still going to acting classes. So, you know what I mean, to hear that is crazy.
Yeah, man.
So
wow.
Yeah, that's fire.
But for the people, I'm having a little technical difficulties with the Stolen Time podcast. If you're not subscribed to it and you are Apple person, I'm working on some stuff right now. I just got a new iPhone and that kind of jacked a lot of the stuff up. So, but the Stolen Time podcast, please go check that out. It's on all major platforms. And unless you're trying to look at Apple right now, it might be messed up, but I'm going to get in the lab. I'm going to try to fix it as soon as I can. But you can go to the Stolen Time podcast page on Facebook, the Stolen Time Pod on Instagram, and s.foster8 on Instagram and Twitter. Please go check out the 28 Minutes or Less podcast. That's on all major platforms. I finished up the October Horror Fest, so now we on to just regular stuff. I did a whole rant episode on Smoking Aces, so that's the last episode of 28 Minutes or Less. So go check that out. By the way. And great movie. I had to get that movie as flowers. And last but not least, man, go check out the VA Podcast Watch Group page on Facebook.
Yes, sir. You can check me out at Scoots Bronson on Twitter. You can check me out at Scoots Bronson _TV on Instagram. You can check me out on YouTube, Scoots Bronson TV. Make sure you go check out Isolated Society, man. I only got one episode up right now, but I do it every Thursday night from 9 to 10. It's just, you know what I'm saying, me talking sports. This week I will be ranting about my Cleveland Browns. It's a lot of stuff I'm not liking right now that I'm seeing. But I do get into other sports besides football. I get into sports news, all that good stuff, man. So check me out. You can listen live on Thursday nights from 9 to 10, like I said, or you can catch the replays on Fridays and from there on our podcast platforms. You can also check out 15 Minutes of Fame. The last episode I did was with my guy Cheese Navy. You can check that out. That's still up. I got a new one coming up very, 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 very soon. I got to talk out the details with my guy, S. Foster, but I think you guys are going to like this one that I got coming up. And then, like S. Foster said, man, make sure y'all go to that VA Podcast Watch Group. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get up to at least 100 people so we can start doing watch parties. We want to be able to watch some movies and watch some, you know what I'm saying, videos and shows and stuff. with the listeners. That way you guys can, you know what I'm saying, kind of get a taste of what we like. We can kind of get a taste of what you guys like. And then, you know what I'm saying, depending on what movie we doing, man, you'll be able to watch it with us before you actually hear our reviews. So I think that would be super, super, super dope. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you share with a friend. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a rating and a comment. And for the 5-star ratings, we will be reading them live on the podcast. As soon as we start getting them, you know what I'm saying, we're going to start showing y'all love, man. Real quick, though, I want to say, man, I want to give a shout-out to my guy, S. Foster, because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of stuff has been going on in this podcast game. For me, personally, you know what I'm saying, I just ended a podcast, but, you know what I'm saying, my guy came in, I had an idea. He said, let's roll with it, and, you know what I'm saying, he been on me about making sure these episodes been out. He been hitting me with these ideas, and, you know what I'm saying, this has been a mutual joint, and it's been one of the best things that I've done since I started podcasting. So, bro, I want to thank you very much, man, for being a part of this, and let's continue to, you know what I'm saying, kill these joints, man.
Yes, sir, man. Like I told you before, man, I wish I could remember. I think it was the Black Witch episode, I think. Mm-hmm. But I was just saying, like, it was something that I was thinking about, and I was just like, I don't know. It's one of those things where, oh man, this is gonna sound arrogant as fuck, but I can't think of another way to say it. But like, when you working with some, like when you speaking to someone about something, and it's like, yeah. How do I want to say it? It just, I was just afraid to come to you about it. And then it was just like, and then you came to me and I was like, fuck, I didn't even have to do it, but we was thinking the same thing. And it was like, I wanted to work with you because we was doing little spots where I would jump on the Already Home sometimes. You would jump on the Stolen Time sometimes. And then it got to a point where I remember what really made me have the idea was when there was a time where you had did you did one podcast solo.
Yeah.
And that we had spoke, and then I was like, dude, if you need me, just hit me.
Oh yeah, that's right. You jumped on the Already Home with me. I remember.
Yeah,
I definitely
and
remember.
I jumped on, and it was just me and you, and I was just like, well, damn, like we got to get chemistry. Like maybe we should keep this shit up. But I was just so afraid to be like, reach out to you about an idea about doing something because I just felt like you might have rejected the idea, or not really rejected.
Hell no, nah. I wish you'd have did it earlier.
Yeah,
I wish you did that shit earlier.
Yeah, man, but like, you know, I just feel like the shit that we're doing, man, you know, if motherfuckers give it a shot, I feel like this shit could be legendary in the podcast game, man. Like, it just people listen to it, they appreciate it, cause like you said, like for me, I'm a guy, man. Like I do this shit off the dome. Like I really don't do, especially like when I'm breaking down movies. Like this stuff we did today, like to get the years and all that type stuff right. Yeah, like I'm looking at it on my computer, but like when I'm breaking down movies and I'm in my zone, like I don't have notes. Like I'm just going right off the dome.
You don't need to. You don't need to. And that's the dope part about it, bro, is like when you watch these movies, man, and you can go back and think about how they made you feel, and you know what I'm saying, how we talked about how when we was younger, and you know what I'm saying, we was in high school when we watched this movie, or when I'm talking about I'm in 7th, 8th grade watching these movies, like that just goes to show you just, you know what I'm saying, how great these pieces of work was, but not only that, just how into movies and television that we are, because you know what I'm saying, like I can remember vividly the first time I ever seen Titanic. I seen that shit when I was in 6th grade. My mom took me to to the library, and they had the double VHS, and we watched that shit on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like I can remember a whole bunch of shit. Like I remember my first time seeing shit like The Wiz, seeing The Last Dragon, the movie that we did before. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about these things, like this is something that we really have a passion for, man. And it's just so good to be able to talk to somebody else who has that same passion about movies, even if it's not the same movie. Just the fact that somebody who likes to watch movies and enjoys, you know what I'm saying, the entertainment aspect, bro, you don't really get the chance to, you know what I'm saying, come across too many people like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, man. And you know what I'm saying? Let's continue to make this shit happen, bro.
Yes, sir, man. The feeling is mutual, man. Feeling mutual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, y'all go subscribe. Y'all go share with a friend. Tell everybody you know what I'm saying, to listen to this podcast because it might be a movie on here you ain't never seen. And I'm sick and tired of seeing people post what's good to watch on Netflix. We telling you, goddammit. Pay attention. So, man, with that being said, man, thank y'all again. You know what I'm saying? Like they say in the movies, that's a wrap.
Cut.